So in this segment, we're going to be talking about a Holocaust survivor confronting Suella Braverman on her use of language when it comes to asylum seekers and people crossing the channel. And Braverman's quote, what Braverman says in her defence, pretty poor. There's a longer quote, which the Home Office are saying, this clip is taken out of context and blah, blah, blah. It's not. I watched the longer clip. It's not great. So we'll cut to this one and then we'll go over Braverman's answers, which are pretty poor.
I am a child survivor of the Holocaust. In 1943, I was forced to flee my birthplace in Belgium and across war-torn Europe and dangerous seas until I finally was able to come to the UK in 1947. Now, when I hear you using words against refugees like swarms and an invasion, I am reminded of the language used to dehumanize and justify the murder of my family and millions others. Why do you find the need to use that kind of language?
I won't apologise for the language that I use to demonstrate the scale of the problem. That we mustn't shy away from saying there is a problem. I will not shy away from saying we have a problem with people exploiting that generosity, breaking our rules.
So yeah, the Braverman's answers are really poor. The Home Office have asked for the video to be taken down since the footage misrepresents the interaction. It doesn't. Like I said, I watched the full clip. You can watch the full clip if you want. I'll try and link it in the description. But, you've got a Holocaust survivor saying the language you use is dehumanizing people, which is true. The language that Braverman uses does dehumanize people. And you've got Braverman saying, I will not apologize for the language used. She says that, look. I won't apologise for the language that I have used. And she was directly confronted with the language she used. Talking about swarms and all of these kind of other things. So for Braverman to not apologise means that the video's context is not the issue here. She was given direct quotes of what she has just said, the direct wording of what she has said, right? She said, I will not apologise for using those words. There was no deceptive edit here. You can tell there's jump cuts. They haven't tried to hide the fact that there's jump cuts. So you can see there's one there. Let's see, there's another one around here. There, you can see it cuts. It's a very obvious cut as well. It doesn't take a person in film school to figure that out. So it's very obvious that it's been cut, but it's not done so in a deceptive way. It cut out a lot of the filler she gave in her answer, which said, my parents, also came from abroad and got here and, gave their lives to the UK and taught me British values and all this other stuff. But, there's no deceptive edit here. And, the language is very important because you can use words to dehumanize people, and we have seen a consistent effort from people like Braverman, people like in the Daily Mail, for example, in the presses, dehumanize asylum seekers, dehumanize people that are making channel crossings, but won't create safe and legal points of entry for these people to claim asylum. They won't do it. If they wanted to, they could resolve a lot of the issues that we're facing right now, but the government consistently chooses not to help people. And that is a choice that they have made, a conscious decision. So I applaud this Holocaust survivor for confronting Suella Braverman. Genuinely, these are similar kind of phrases that we saw back in the the end of the 1930s, where you had people, Jews and other groups of people, other minorities, I think the Romas, trying to flee Nazi Germany and trying to seek asylum, and some of those people were demonized by the media in this country. In this country, they were demonized, and we see it again. And it's just tragic. Braverman did mention, what this video doesn't cover, is Braverman did mention refugees from Afghanistan and how proud she is of the Home Office's efforts, despite the fact that the Home Office left a lot of people in the lurch, to the point where the Taliban are still actively hunting down people who helped NATO efforts in Afghanistan. You have a situation where you have people who tried to apply for asylum within the UK, weren't given it, have no way of getting to the UK, because the UK won't allow them to come here. And so you even have those people who helped with NATO efforts that were promised asylum by the UK, some of these people were, and you have those people doing channel crossings as well because they have no other way of getting here and they are being actively hunted, and we had promised them asylum. So for her to say she's proud of the UK's efforts on on Afghan refugees is a joke. She talks about how proud they are about how they treat Ukrainian refugees, despite the fact that a lot of the funding has run out for the support packages for families that have taken Ukrainian refugees, and also the fact that the ones that have taken on Ukrainian refugees are trying to charge the refugees money for staying with them. There were no proper checks taken for where the refugees need to be housed. So for her to use these two examples specifically in the full video is just comical, absolutely comical. What a joke of a human being she is. If I were her, I would duck out of any of these kind of town hall type events, because she's not very good at speaking and she talks a lot of nonsense. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.